trips to Tillamook that I'd go down the Wilson River Road, and there one night I came upon this dead deer in the road that was the occasion for writing Traveling Through the Dark. And a lot of that poem is straight documentary. I was on the Wilson River Road there, found this deer dead on the edge, and pulled off as far as I could. It's very narrow, and dragged the deer off. And as I did so, I realized that it was a pregnant doe. And the next day, the kids would always ask me at breakfast, "What did you see last night, Dad?" They see they'd be asleep when I got home. So I began to tell them about finding this dead deer down by Jordan Creek on the Wilson River Road, and how I had to drag it off so somebody else might be coming faster, and then you might have a wreck. And I told them, as I started to drag it off, kids, I realized that there was a baby fawn inside it. And they were just caught up in the drama of this. It was at that point that I sort of realized there was a human involvement there that could make a poem. And I'd always write up such things anyway, so it gradually turned into a kind of a form, about a sonnet length, sort of rhymes, and this little drama on the road. Traveling through the dark, I found a deer dead on the edge of the Wilson River Road. It is usually best to roll them into the canyon. That road is narrow. To swerve might make more dead. By glow of the tail light, I stumbled back of the car and stood by the heap. A doe, a recent killing. She had stiffened already, almost cold. I dragged her off. She was large in the belly. My fingers touching her side brought me the reason. Her side was warm. Her fawn lay there waiting, alive, still, never to be born. Beside that mountain road, I hesitated. The car aimed ahead, its lowered parking lights. Under the hood purred the steady engine. I stood in the glare of the warm exhaust turning red. Around our group, I could hear the wilderness listen. I thought hard for us all, my only swerving, then pushed her over the edge into the river. Deciding, for instance, to say at the end, and pushed her over the edge into the river or whatever, came along toward the end. Toward the end of figuring out what to do with this poem, how to close it down. And I remember taking it to a writers group we had in town. And we sat around a table, and it came my turn to read what I'd done this week, and I read Traveling Through the Dark. And there was a kind of catch of breath, and they all said, no, Bill, you can't end it that way. Push her over the edge into the river. That's when I thought, that's exactly what I've got to do, end it right there. And so I just gave up revising anymore and sent it out.